It is the tale of two stories. The New York Times targeting Donald Trump in what he calls a hit piece, detailing his relationships with women, quoting more than a dozen former employees, girlfriends, and pageant queens from his past. But now one of those women is speaking out, saying she was totally misquoted. Here she is now to set the record straight, joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina, former model Roanne Brewer-Lane. Good morning, Roanne. Thank you for being with us. Why do you think the left, the mainstream media, is so obsessed with just creating this negative headline about how Donald Trump treats women?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I think that they're just reaching for straws.
It wasn't until they cleared the meal that somehow or another the armrest in the seat disappeared, and it was a real shock when all of a sudden his hands were all over me.
What did they get wrong?
Well, they did take quotes from what I said, and they put a negative connotation on it. They spun it to where it appeared negative. I did not have a negative experience with Donald Trump, and I don't appreciate them making it look like that I was saying that it was a negative experience, because
you knew him
not.
very well, right? You dated him for several months?
That's correct. Yes, and he never made me feel like I was being demeaned in any way. He never offended me in any way. He was very gracious. I saw him around all types of people, all types of women. He was very kind, thoughtful, generous. You know, he was a gentleman.
He started encroaching on my space, and I hesitate to use this expression, but I'm going to. And that is, he was like an octopus. It was like he had 6 arms. He was all over the place. If he had stuck with the upper part of the body, I might not have gotten that upset. But it's when he started putting his hand up my skirt, and that was it. That was it. I was out of there. And I don't think I said a word. During the late 60s, 70s, and into the 80s, culture had instilled in us that somehow it was our fault. The attention that we received from men, that we were responsible for their behavior. You didn't complain to the authorities, you didn't complain to your boss. If something happened to you, you just bucked up and you went on. I thought to myself, gee, I wish the stewardess would come and rescue me. And then I decided, I got up, I got my purse, and I said, I'm going back to my seat and coach. I was so glad to get back to that seat.
I don't know how many other girls feel like they were misquoted, but I know that for a fact I was, and I don't want that out there. That's not how it was. That's not how it felt, and it's just not what I want out there. He was a very good guy, Donald, and I think he's doing a good job in this race, and I think that some people have a problem with that.
Did he ever mistreat women?
Not that I've ever seen. Absolutely, without a doubt, no.
Have you reached out to him after this article just to set the record straight with him?
I haven't had time.
Yeah, you've been pretty busy, I'm sure. Have you talked to any of the other women that were quoted in the article as well?
I have not. I would love to find out from here out, you know, if I could, you know, if I'm helping set the platform for this, that's fantastic. Because I read it this morning and I didn't sleep all night. And I'm here talking about it now because that's important to me. I don't like what they did. And if Donald sees it and knows that, you know, he doesn't have to worry. You know, there's a God.
Why do you think the left, the mainstream media, is so obsessed with just creating this negative headline about how Donald Trump treats women?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I think that they're just reaching for straws.
Have you reached out to the reporter?
We have. My manager did that. I was getting prepared to leave and come up here so that I could say hello to you guys and answer questions and set the record straight, clear the air. which I'm very happy to do, and I appreciate that. We did send a message up to them and let them know that we were going to be saying, you know, telling our side of the story, because they know they promised me several times that that wasn't going to happen.
Just gives journalists a bad name, but I'm glad you're here to set the record straight. Will you vote for him?
I think Donald is doing a great job, and he is a very successful businessman. He's a great leader because of that. He has a lot going for him, let's face it, and I'm supporting him.
All right. Thank you, Roanne. Thanks for setting the record straight and being here and telling the truth this morning.
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much.